Hello everyone, my name is Schingen, and if you haven't already seen the title of this video, then this is my coming out video. And I'm not making this video to officially come out, but to give my story of when I came out, and to give tips on how to come out, and to just explain how much of an experience this is, and how stressful and how emotional this experience can be, and how so many children struggle with coming out and with confronting their parents and with confronting their friends about something that shouldn't have to define them but inadvertently does. So today I just wanted to make this video to give my story and to explain further on how much of an experience and how honestly scary this experience can be. So just sit back and listen, because often coming out is just listening. I was in 7th grade and I was at a party, and what was going on at this party was there was this girl who was a possible love interest for me, and she was one of my best friends, and I really liked her and she really liked me. Yet there was a rumor, and I'm not going to say what this rumor is, and I'm not going to give any names either, because people will view this person differently if they knew. So I'm not going to tell any rumors, I'm not going to make this certain, but let's just say that the rumors were very rude and very personal too. People did not have to know what the truth of these rumors were. No one did. It's rumors, and it was this girl's personal business, and I didn't want to really let that conflict, but so many people had a view of this rumor, and so many people felt a certain way that all they kept doing was telling me that I shouldn't date her. Why these people thought that their views had anything to do with mine, and why their opinions would alter mine, made no sense to me, because it just didn't really make any sense. Because I don't really care what you say if it's my opinion and yours is different than mine, because so many of the people at these parties had different views on certain things in life, certain people, and what their opinions said meant nothing to me. So I was at this party and people were just telling me about everything, how I couldn't date her, yet I knew that there was a reason why I couldn't date her, but I was so terrified of telling anyone, and I didn't want anyone to know, and it was a very emotional experience for me, where people were telling me what to do, and I don't do well with people telling me what to do, because it's my life and not yours. Your words have nothing to do with me. But I was at this party, and basically what happened after a while was I was just all over the place. People were asking me questions, people were flustering me with their opinions. So what I did was I basically broke off from everyone and just went to the top of this hill that was at the party, and I basically hid up there and told my friend to come and meet me at the top of the hill because I had something to tell him. And what I didn't know was that this girl was basically following my best friend and came to the top of the mountain. I was really almost betrayed in a sense when she showed up, because I barely knew her. I didn't know anything about her. All I know is that I had a few conversations with her, and I didn't really know her very well. And I was about to tell my best friend one of the biggest secrets, and I had to get it off of my chest. I absolutely had to, because if I would have held on to it any longer, I don't think I would have been okay. So I'm at the top of this hill. They're both asking me, what's wrong, are you okay? And what ended up happening was I was there, and I said the most important words I think I've ever said in my entire life. I'm bi. However, I'm not bi anymore, I'm gay, but when you first come out, a lot of the times what you want to say is you're in a transition. You want to make it seem like you're still the same old person. There's just a newly added side of you. So you say that I'm still straight, but I have a little more than not so often kind of more than often sort of feeling about men or women if you're a different person, if you're kind of different, but you say that a lot of the times to make it seem as though you're not changing. You are still the same old person you are. And I felt like I had to say that because a lot of it was reasoning with myself. And another reason was because I went to a Catholic middle school. So basically I was in hell. Because being gay in a Catholic school, first of all, is condemning yourself basically. And then being in middle school where there's a bunch of bullies and a lot of idiots who don't know anything is even worse. But making them Catholic idiots is oftentimes very bad. However, I'm not saying that all Catholics are bad. I was raised Catholic. And I still have a strong sense of devotion to God and a strong sense of devotion to a higher power, whether or not that is Jesus Christ and God. I still feel that I love whoever created me, and if that's God or someone else, I'm very thankful for them. So, being at that Catholic school where there's so many opinions and so many ways to look at homosexuality, and so many people who tell you that you're a bad person or you're going to hell because of who you are, it's honestly very sad and very stressful for certain people. And being at that party, I had to tell someone, and I trusted my best friend, and in a sense I trusted this girl even though I didn't know who she was. Now she's one of my best friends in the whole world, and I look back on that day so many times, and all I see is protection and love, and that's what I hope everyone's coming out experience could be like. But so many people don't get the experience that they should deserve. So many people are kicked out of their houses. So many people are disowned by their parents and lose their best friends because of something that they have no control over. And it's truly saddening every time you see something like this, because to yourself, you're still the same old person that you always were. You're just more open now, and you tell people more of yourself, and you're not hiding who you are anymore. And really, the fact that you like someone of the same gender or the same sex, or you feel that you're in the wrong body, is something that's so you that it has nothing to do with other people. You shouldn't have to tell anyone. It shouldn't have to be something that you have to tell people. Coming out shouldn't have to exist. But since the norm of society is being heterosexual or being straight, we have to say these words, and so many times people get a negative response from what they're saying, from being who they are. And it's so sad because coming out by itself is so hard, and it takes so much courage and so much bravery to do. When people say that you're going to hell for that, or get out of my house, you feel like you've been betrayed almost, in a sense. You feel like people just don't love you anymore. And with how much courage that took, with how much bravery you had to muster up to be able to say these words, coming out should be positive. Coming out should have a positive response. But there's so many people who don't get the positive response that they're looking for. So I'm going to explain my story a little bit further, and then I'll give some tips. After that day, I was open. I was finally free of a burden. I was able to say that I lost something off of my shoulders. And with the positive response that I got from my 2 friends, I felt like it would always just be great. And to this day, I can say I've never had a bad experience with coming out. No one's ever looked at me funny. No one's ever treated me any different. It's always just been a very positive thing for me. And just knowing that there are people who have bad experiences with coming out is so sad, because I was a lucky one. I was lucky that I was able to live in a Catholic community. I'm in a Catholic state, basically, a very Republican state, and so many people still love me for who I am. Yet there are so many people out there who don't get that love that I got, and it's so sad. But anyway, coming out, I was only out to those 2 people for around 6 months. Yeah, 6 months. I came out to 4 more people in 1 week in April, because I was like, I trust these people so much and I want them to know who I am and what I am, basically. So it was a very important day for me, this whole coming out experience. And never did I once get a bad response. No one ever treated me any differently. And then I came out to my mom. And when I came out to my mom, I had a little speech written, and it was very emotional and heartfelt, I feel, because my mom is like my best friend, and I love her so much. And for her to just accept me made me feel so happy and so whole, and I felt like I was still loved. And that's what a coming out experience should be. You should still feel loved after. So I felt very blessed to have that. And then I came out to my dad about a week later when we were coming back from my tumbling practice, and he still loved me, and he cared for me, and he didn't treat me any differently. My dad was still there for me. And coming out to your dad, especially if you're a boy, or coming out to your mom, especially if you're a girl, sometimes can be one of the most stressful things, because that's your father figure, that's your mother figure, that's the person who's raised you, that's the person who you're supposed to just be super close with and be able to bond with. And the fact that my dad accepted me so well, and there are so many bad experiences of parents who feel that their children have to be just like them. Being with my dad and him accepting me like this was something that I just felt so happy about, because so many people don't get that experience, and they feel that it's an awful thing that people don't. I feel that it's terrible that people have to worry about their parents not loving them. And at that time I was kind of worried, but looking back on the situation, I feel so dumb that I didn't think my dad would love me after, because he was always so accepting of me and he always loved me. So I don't know what I was afraid of. And as the time went on, I told that girl that I liked, and she still loved me back, and she actually told me another secret that I'm not going to share, because I don't want people to make rumors or get offended by this video. But after a while, I just started slowly coming out to a lot of people, and then about halfway through 8th grade year, basically the entire grade knew that I was gay. And it was a weight lifted off my shoulders, I definitely feel, especially being at a Catholic school and surviving for so long, never getting once bullied, never having to be saddened. It was always just such a great experience, and so many people treated me the same after. And being in that situation where people still love you after, it's just wonderful, because knowing that people who you were so close with still love you after something that you were stressed out about, something that you felt like you had to say, is a great feeling. Because these people still love you for who you are, even though you were afraid that they wouldn't. And it just shows how love is one of the most important emotions. And I felt like with coming out, that was one of the best experiences for me. And I'm going to give you guys some tips for when you want to come out, if you are trying to come out, or if you just needed something to help you come out. First tip, go watch a lot of videos. Go watch more videos like this one, or go watch Troye Sivan's video, or go watch, I think it's called 12-Year-Old Gay Kid. Comes out, I'll put the links in the description. But some of these videos, some of the most encouraging coming out videos, I feel helped me so much with coming out. And there's a lot of videos where people talk about when they came out to their parents and what it felt like for them and how their parents reacted. So go watch those videos, because with those you get more stories and you get more background on what to say if you need help with figuring out what you want to say to your parents when you do, or to your friends if you do. It's all just such an important experience in your life that I feel you have to have more control over, and you have to really be in touch with. So I say go watch more videos and do your research and figure out if it's a safe time for you to come out. Figure out if your parents would care. Ask them questions about their feelings toward gay people. And if they have a positive response, take that into account. Make sure that you start to figure out how you're going to come out if you choose to. Second tip, come out to your friends first. A lot of people want to come out to their parents, and if you feel close to your parents, if you feel like they're your best friend, come out to them. But I feel like I had to come out to my friends first, because I didn't care if they didn't like me after. If they were truly my friend, they would still like me after. But family's with you forever, and if they don't like who you are, and if it is unsafe for you to come out to them, and they disown you, it's just, I've never had to deal with it, but for a lot of people, it's very sad. And for so many people who do get kicked out of their houses, or who are disowned by their parents, they feel like they aren't able to be loved by them. And they feel like no one can love them. So be very aware and very conscious of who you're coming out to, because so many people have a certain view of homosexuality and just things like homosexuality. And it's very saddening that people don't always still love you after. I've never had to deal with it, but there are a lot of people who have. And we need to take their stories into account as well. Because if it's unsafe for you to come out, don't do it. Come out to your friends. Come out to people who you trust, who you know won't care after. And with our time and age now, so many people don't care. And so many people don't feel that gay people are necessarily a bad thing. So come out to people like that. Come out to people who won't care after, who will still love you after. That's one of the most important tips that I'm going to give you today. And tip number 3, have something prepared to say. Like, this one might not make a lot of sense, but a lot of the times when I was walking into a situation, I didn't have a plan, and I ended up stalling for so long. A lot of the times I played games with my friends, like, guess who I like? And what were they supposed to do? They didn't know. A lot of the times they'd go through all the girls in the school, and then they would finally start to say a guy, and I'd be like, maybe. And then they would figure it out. The thing is, people will still love you after. And even if they don't, it gets better. If you've made a bad decision with your coming out experience, if you came out to somebody who doesn't love you anymore because of your sexuality, your sexual orientation, they weren't truly your friends, or they weren't truly, like, loving you correctly, don't be afraid if you trust that person. Don't be afraid if you know they will love you after. Coming out is so important and such a valuable experience and something you will always remember for the rest of your life. You will always remember coming out. There will never be a day where you won't remember it. It's one of the most important days of your life. And if you don't do it correctly, not saying that you wouldn't, but if you don't treat it as something important, it won't be. Coming out is the day you finally accept who you are and let people know who you are. Coming out is such an important thing. It's such an important experience, and you really have to know what your plan of action is going into it. Those are my 3 tips to coming out, and I really hope that this video helped you guys. If you are trying to come out, if you are struggling with your experience to come out, there's so many hotlines that you can go to, and I'll put some links down below. And stay on the internet. The internet is such an accepting place, but if you go to the wrong parts of the internet, there are so many people who aren't accepting as well. So find that community, find that area of people who are gay or who accept gay people. Find those people. Make friends who accept gay people. Just be aware of where you are and be aware of who you are, and don't let people tell you who you are. You are the only person who can tell you who you are. So just be yourself. That's all I want to say. I'll put some more helpful stuff in the description below. If you find any of this helpful, don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Share this video with people who you think could really use it. Help other people who are having struggle coming out. Coming out videos are such an important aspect of YouTube, I feel, and the internet, because they truly tell people stories, and stories are the best way to learn because it's experience, and an experience is so valuable. So go share this video with people who you feel could really use it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe because I will be posting more on this channel. It's just my first video. I really hope you guys like this. And don't forget to look at the description. There's a bunch of stuff down there that will give you tips and hints and stuff. I really hope you guys like this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!